need your glasses on if you're not reading, do you? Or is it your thing?
I don't know, it's my thing, isn't it, my glasses. I need the glasses on so I can see the screen. Right, folks. This is a serious one, and it's, I think because my debt video was quite helpful to people. People see me in June as some kind of mother-father figure on YouTube, which is quite complimentary, shall we say. And as you've read from the title, this one's about grief, and people have been emailing me, messaging me, asking how to go about the death of a loved one. Now, I've lost my mother, which was careless of me. Hey.
Quite young as well, weren't you?
Quite young, yeah. Well, I was
early 30s.
Yes, I was early 30s, and my mum died. She had an illness. No doubt some of you trolls out there that watch me will be laughing themselves, but you know, that's what gets off on you. Fair play to you. And June has lost both of her parents. Yeah, that's it. They both died. How old were they? They were old.
My parents were both in their 80s. I was very, very close to my mother. You were close to your mother though, weren't you? Because
yeah, I was close to my mum, as sons go, don't they? Because I mean, sons are a little bit more.
Well, the thing is, we both come from broken homes, don't we? So therefore, we were very close to our mothers.
Yes. So that's it, really. So we have got some experience. So what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to try and keep, well, I've got to keep this down to half an hour at least because the camera's set up so it only does half an hour. June has made some notes of what we want to say because normally my videos I can just reel it off. I can just talk continuous shit. But with this being a serious subject and people asking for help and advice, we've made notes. Now, whatever me and June say, don't take as gospel, right? This is our personal experience. This is how we overcome the death of our parents. We also had a miscarriage, didn't we? And I say we because we had a miscarriage. It wasn't June who lost the baby, we lost the baby. It were only about yay big anyway, so
12 weeks, right?
12 weeks, something like that. It happens, it weren't meant to be. So we've also got that little experience there that we can fall back on. I have lost all my grandparents, so you didn't really know your grandparents.
Yeah, I knew them, but I wasn't particularly close to them.
I was close to Granny Gert, Uncle Steve and my dad's mum. My granddad, he died in the 70s. I think it was the 70s, I don't know. Do you know what, right? You can even say, now this is how I deal with death. I don't forget them. They're always there. They're always part of my life. There's a certain record that comes on and my mum loved it. AC/DC's Highway to Hell. No, she didn't. I'm trying to I'm not making light of this, but I have to have humour in my life to deal with things. That's how I get over things. That's how that's my release. I don't take the piss, but I do laugh at it. When my mum was dying, on the night she died, I had to go and see my mum. Not that I had to go and see her, I had to go and see my mum because we knew it was coming. Anyway, I went racing over from work and anyway, I got there and I needed a shit. So anyway, I went upstairs, did the business, and my mum had got one of them seats round the chair
to help her get on
and off. Well, I didn't. I was that busy wanting a dump. I sat in it, didn't I? Of course, got up and it was stuck to me horse and I couldn't get it off and all that. So anyway, I went downstairs and I said to my mum, I says, sooner you're gone, mother, the better. I said, I've just had that bloody chair stuck on my arse for 5 minutes. And like, the old dear was dying, but she was absolutely pissing herself. And I don't mean that she got a colostomy bag on, and that's how I deal with things, right? That's how I deal with things. So, now...
laughing in the face of a person.
Yeah, you throw it at me and I'll laugh at it. And to see my mum laugh on that last night was, it was good. It was fucking good. Now, if I do swear in this, I'm not apologising, right? Because this is how it is. It's grown-up talk, right? What about you, June? How would you... I said I laugh in the thing. I need humour to help me get through.
Yeah, I'm not quite like you. I think I feel things quite deeply, don't I?
I have got a switch where I can just switch off.
Yeah, and I've not. I do not dwell on things, but I worry. Always overthinking everything. But I will say this to everybody out there who is worrying about grief because you know it's coming, or if you're experiencing it, don't think you're going to get over it. You don't get over grief. Yes, the intensity lessens.
Yeah.
But you don't really get over it. It's always there.
Yeah, there's always little things, as what's the song? Always something there to remind me, and it does pop up, right? But what you do is you embrace that, but you move on, because what's happened is the people who you have lost. Somebody sent me a message saying that his granddad had died, and he was really, really close, and he can't honestly see how he's going to cope without his granddad. Now, putting this in BVM talk, you're going to have to, mate. You're going to have to. But whatever your granddad taught you, whatever tools he gave you in life, you take them, right? You take them fucking tools and you keep them somewhere deep inside you. And you use them tools that he gave you, right? And you make him proud of what he taught you. Don't ever forget it. I would say your granddad was a great man because he obviously meant something to you. So there is something. Take them tools and move on. Don't forget, he'll always be there with you, but you have to move on. There was a lad who's sent me an email, and his email made me and June do this, didn't it?
Yeah, because we didn't really want to do it.
We didn't want to do it.
It's a bit sad.
Yeah.
And it's quite emotional for us.
Yeah. But he sent an email.
And it touched us.
He knows who he is. He's a 25-year-old lad, right? So that's it. We'll leave it at that. He knows who he is. And his email made us do this. And this is again... The person who is dying is hopefully giving you the tools to do what you need to do to move on, to get out there in that big world and move on.
Can I just say one thing?
Will it be one thing, June, or will it be many?
No, it might be several. But if you get the opportunity, i.e. you know the person's dying, although it might be really difficult, and I certainly found it very difficult, because I don't come from a very touchy-feely, overly emotional family. Tell that person you love them.
Yeah.
Tell that person you love them. No matter how stupid you feel, just tell them. And also, if they're capable, give them the chance to talk. Another thing I found very, very difficult, I didn't want to hear my mother talking to me about dying and what was going to happen when she'd gone. I found that very difficult. But I think you've got to give them that chance, and you've got to let them know that you're going to be okay. Even though you're not, I remember speaking to my mother just before she slipped into a coma, and she was just looking at me and looking at me and looking at me, and I was sobbing because I'm like that, and I forced myself to say to her, it's okay, you can let go. I'm going to be alright, I promise I will be alright. When really I wanted to shout at her, don't you dare fucking leave me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
June's gone, that's it. This is why we didn't want to do this video.
But
because
this is how it is. I mean,
yeah.
You don't cry all the time. It's 8 years since my mother died. But times like that, when you think back,
yeah,
you will get emotional. It's going to happen. It's normal. It's natural.
It is natural.
But I will say this. Don't torture yourself by going over and over and over everything forever and a day. Yes, in the early days you're going to go over it, but try and let that go, because it's like having a scab. You keep picking at it, it's never going to heal. Sometimes you just need to put a lid on it and put it to one side. Sometimes you can get that box out and take the lid off and have a little peek, but don't let it out.
Yeah.
Because you will never ever move on. But it will always be there. It will always be there for you to revisit any time you want to. But you're in control of that. Don't let it take over your life.
Is that dog gone upstairs?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter the doors.
I'm a very different person. I take after my father. My father looks like Hulk Hogan and he's got a ponytail. And he don't come into the room ripping his shirt off like that. Me and my dad are very much the same kind of person. Me and my dad, we don't bother with birthday cards. We are close. Me and my dad are close. But we don't see each other that often, and it's just the way it is. I have got a special, some kind of thing where I can just remove him. I cried more over the death of our bloody retriever than my mum. But I do miss my mum and all that kind of thing. But I was going to say, the day she died, one of the few days I went to see her a couple of days before, and she was in a right fucking state. And I nearly put a pillow over her face.
We don't recommend that.
No, we don't recommend that.
Because you'll be up for murder.
Yeah, well, I don't think I would have been up for murder because I don't think they'd have known. But I was that close to putting a pillow over her face and getting rid. And I don't mean like chucking out the trash or rubbish. That was American. I ain't doing American. Chucking out rubbish. It's that cruel to be kind thing.
I don't know if it's even that, is it? I think when you've lost somebody who's been ill. Yeah. I mean, your mother was ill for a good year or more, wasn't she, really?
The second time round, yeah. So you can all work out what that was.
And my mother, she was probably 3-4 months where she wasn't herself. I knew what was coming.
Yeah, she didn't want to eat.
And in the end, you just think, just please hurry up and die.
Yeah. And that's not so you can move on as such, it's just so.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you do feel a bit of that because you know it's coming. It's not going to stop. It's not going to change. You're not going to prevent it. She's not going to get better. No. You just want it over.
Well, I wanted it over for her sake. I wanted her out of pain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Not for me. Not for me. Well,
I've made that sound wrong, haven't I? I didn't want my mother to die. Anybody who knows me at all will know that never entered my head. But you just want it over. And one of the things that sticks in my mind, and it happens to a lot of people, I do know that, I'd been up night after night after night, holding her hand, sitting there by her bed, and I just fell asleep. That final night, I just fell asleep, and it must have been for 5 minutes. Yeah. Literally 5 minutes. And she'd gone.
Yeah. And June's off again.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm fine. And I felt guilty.
Yeah.
I felt guilty, but if I think about it, I think she waited.
Yeah.
I think she waited till. There's a saying, isn't there? You're born alone and you die alone. Something like that. You come into this world alone and you die alone. Something like that. Anyway, and I think she waited. But yeah, you do feel a whole range of emotions, don't you? Guilt, relief. I don't know. It was just one of the hardest things I've ever been through. But I was glad I'm glad I was there, and I'm glad I got a chance to tell her I loved her, and to tell her that I was going to be okay. And gave her the chance to tell her how much she loved me.
And I never said anything like that to my mum. So my mum, she knew it. I mean, look at me. You know I'm all right. You know the things I've had thrown in my face and all that, I just bat them away. So I think my mum knew. I don't know how my sister is on this. You know how my sister was there with her nursing, and my sister is a nurse kind of person.
Carer, isn't she?
Yeah, so my sister probably knew more, and my sister was more, I was realistic about it.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the things you've got to do. You've got to be
realistic. You've got to be realistic, and you've got to accept what's coming and what's happened.
What other notes have we got?
Well, I was just going to say as well, that first week, fortnight, when the funeral's being planned and everything else, that kind of carries you through.
Yeah, because you're occupied. You've got something to do.
You've got something. Now, funerals are funny things.
Oh, they're fucking hilarious.
Well, in actual fact, my mother's wasn't it? Because it was a pack-up from start to finish. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Well, we'll just say the vicar turned up, and apparently it was the anniversary of her husband's death, and she forgot to bring the fucking notes.
She cocked everything up.
She cocked everything up.
Upset everybody.
June's dad, because the moment June and her dad had split up, and the vicar said something. He took offence to it. They played Culture Club. Do you really want to hurt me? Dad took offence to that. It was like I tell you what, you couldn't have wrote it, and it was absolutely unbelievable. There were a massive bust up after the funeral. Oh, it was fucking hilarious, weren't it? It was something that you would see in a...
And the hearse missed the turning.
Yeah, the hearse went by, missed the turning of the house. He had to go down the road, turn around, come back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking hilarious. It broke the day up.
What I was going to say was, with funerals, I've actually said I never want a funeral because I think they're bloody awful things, to be quite honest. Yeah. And I hope I don't offend anybody by saying that, because I don't mean to.
Old folks, they love a funeral, don't they? They're all there.
The thing is, they're so upsetting. They're difficult for the family member. It's something very difficult to get through. And once it was over, I was so bloody relieved. I just wanted to get on with my life the best way I could. And when my father died, I was talked into going to the funeral because it was the right thing to do. I didn't want to go. And in a lot of ways, I wish I hadn't. Who says you have to go to a funeral?
Yeah, there's who said. I mean...
No, you don't have to go to the funeral. You can remember that person in your own way. I would rather, with my dad, have gone somewhere that meant something to both of us, or done something that meant something to both of us. I just find funerals a bit forced, a bit false.
Yeah.
And having been through my mother's, I didn't want to do it again. Also, family politics was a massive issue.
Massive. You think Brexit's bad? Fucking hell, you should have been involved in that. Fuck me.
But after the funeral and all the excitement's died down, and take the time to think, reflect, and miss them, and cry, and grieve.
Yeah.
But don't let it become all consuming. Get up in the morning, have your shower. When you're ready to go to work, go to work. Don't leave it too long, because that really does help.
Yeah, go get, you basically, I mean, you'll probably all be saying, some of you might be saying, June's take over on this. June hasn't taken over. June's got more experience of it, because me, whatever happens to me, I just get up, and the next day I just continue. People are asking for advice. I haven't really got the advice to tell, because I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, and also, like I say, carry on as normally as possible. It's not going to be normal. Nothing's ever going to be the same ever again. But this has got to be your new
Tuesday,
normal.
Thursdays, I used to go around and see my mum. That weren't very good when I were in the wrong fucking house.
Do things you've always done. It'll be difficult, I'm not going to lie, it will be difficult, it will be painful.
You have to get a new routine, don't you?
Yeah, find your new normal. It was massive for me, because I used to see my mother once, twice a day, so there's a massive hole in my life that I needed to fill. Try to avoid situations that are going to cause you pain. For instance, to this day, I still won't walk past my mother's house.
It's only a cricket ball throw away from where we live.
I still won't walk past it, because I know that it'll upset me.
Yeah.
So I avoid it. I avoid it.
I suppose you do what makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah, you've got to do what's right for you. Don't let anybody talk you into doing something.
Don't let anybody talk you into doing something that you do not want to do.
And if you don't want to talk about it, when you got... when I went into work, the first day I went back to work, I was worried about what people was going to say. And I walked into the office and I said, don't anybody be nice to me. Don't be nice to me because I will cry.
Yeah.
Just carry on as normal. I'll talk about it when I can. And that's what I did.
Yeah. I know when I went back to work after my mum died, I used to work at Canon in Colville, the photocopying place in the warehouse, and I think my mum I think we buried her on the Tuesday. I think I went back on the Thursday, didn't I? I think I was only had a day off, and like I walked back in, and Martin Taylor, my boss at the time, and he goes, "What are you doing back?" I says, "I've come back to work." He says, "Well, what are you doing back? You've still got days off." I says, "She's dead. Life moves on. You can't dwell on things." I wanted to get back to some kind of normality.
Well, yeah, because if you're sitting at home...
Yeah, it's not me sitting at home. It's not going to bring my man back. It's not going to take away the pain I feel. I wanted something to do and move on. So, in theory, folks, what I'm trying to say is on this, is that, yes, it hurts like a fucking kick in the nuts. It's almost as if somebody sometimes has been in your chest and just twisted your heart.
Yeah, it is a physical pain, isn't it?
But what you've got to do is, for the sake of them, is move on. Don't try.
No, it's not moving on, is it? It's just, I think for a start, in the early days, you've just got to exist.
Yeah,
you've just got to go about your day-to-day routine.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. In my way, I know you're saying you've just got to get back to some kind of normality in my life. That in my personal,
some kind of routine.
Yeah, I needed a routine. I wanted to get on with it. It's gone. It's dusted. Now, some might say I'm a heartless bastard or whatever. I
can assure you, he's not.
No, I'm not. But you need. The thing is, my mum had died. I've got a wife and a kid and a house and a mortgage and all that. Me sitting in the corner, rocking, eating my own shit, isn't going to help anything. You've got to, for a want of a better phrase, I know you're not supposed to say it, but you've got to man up and move on. And that's basically what I did. June thinks a little bit different, and this is why June's coming in with her bit, because I don't want people to say, "Oh, Blue Van Man said man up and move on."
No, I mean, you're right in what you say. You are right in what you say.
This is how I say it.
Because you've got no alternative. There's no alternative. Unless you're going to chuck yourself in there with them, in that coffin with them, then there's no alternative. You've got to move on. And grandparents, parents, whatever, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have a life.
Yeah.
They made sure you got a life. You make sure you live it.
Yeah.
You make sure you live it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's hard. It's hard. It is hard.
My first... You're gone.
But it's for living.
Yeah. My first funeral I went to, I never went to my granddad Dick's funeral, my dad's dad, because I think I was only 5 or 6 or something like that. Then I went to my granddad Sid died, my mum's dad obviously, and I didn't like that. Didn't like that one bit because I didn't know how to react, and I think I must have been about 9, 10.
Yeah, Ginger's that age when her grandma died, wasn't she?
And I didn't like that one bit because normally, even as a kid, I was in control of my emotions and stuff like that. And you go there and you see that coffin. My granddad was a big fucking man. He was a big dude, and the coffin filled the hearse. It was like that wide. You think I'm wide? And my granddad were a big old lad. And they're carrying it in, don't they? And like my Uncle Pete, he's fucking shaking like a shitting dog and stuff, and he's trying to make everybody laugh still. But I didn't like that when that curtain shut, and I went off and ran off and sobbed somewhere in the corner. But you get on, and even then, I think that's what's helped me be what I am. My granddad dying at such an early age, and seeing that. I think it made me appreciate that life is for living. My granddad would not have wanted me to be moping around. My granddad was a fighter, and although I've only known my granddad for a short amount of time, he certainly made me a tough little fucker.
Yeah, and I can say the same with my mother, because in her words, in the words of Lil, God bless her, she said to me, shut up, bleeding roaring, and get on with it.
Yeah, and that's it. And
that's what I tried to do.
Yeah.
And just going back to the funeral thing.
What, 5 minutes, June?
Well, we're nearly done there, aren't we? But don't expect everybody to react the same.
No.
I didn't cry. Anybody who knows me would have expected me to be an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I saw it as the last thing I could do for her.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make her proud, and that's what I did. That's what I did. But other people were sobbing.
Yeah.
So there's no rules.
Some people.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different. And whatever you feel like doing is okay.
Yeah, it is.
It is okay. Don't let anybody tell you any different. If you don't want to go to that funeral and you want to remember them in your own way, you do that.
Yeah, go down the pub and have a pint.
The thing is, it's not, at that point, it's not about the dead. It's about those that are left.
Right.
Just look after each other. And if you don't have the support of family and friends for whatever reason, and you feel like it's taking over and you really, really can't cope, you must seek some kind of professional help.
Yeah.
Don't sit there battling it on your own if you're really struggling.
It's good to talk. I've never been in that situation where I've needed to talk. I've always...
But the thing is, you've got family.
Yeah, but even then I've not really spoken.
No, I know. But you've got that option if you wanted to. Some people don't have that option.
No, they don't have it.
Unfortunately. But please, if you really are struggling, you seek help. You will struggle for a few weeks, months.
And the first anniversary is never fucking easy. But now I can't even remember the day my mum died. I don't know the dates. I know it's somewhere near my sister's birthday. Come on.
Yes, please. I once read something, and it said, grief is like a coin hammered into a tree trunk. The tree won't die, but the trunk will grow around that coin, and the coin will then become part of its life and its history. And you will grow from that. You won't die, unless you do something stupid. You will grow from that, and it will become part of your life. It will become part of your history. And you've got to accept that.
Yeah,
but it does get easier. The intensity of it lessens.
Yeah.
It's making it sound like you never get over it. You don't.
Well,
It depends what you mean by get over it.
You don't get over it, but you move. You do adapt.
You adapt. You learn to live with it.
Yeah, you adapt.
And in time, it does. It is easier to talk about. It's easier to laugh about the things that they've done.
I mean, the first thing June's come in when her mum had died, she goes, "Guess who's dead?" Who? Waking me up at bloody 5 in the morning. Who's dead? My mum. Oh right, yeah, cool. So that's it. We hope in the last 2 minutes of this, we hope we have kind of helped some people in the grieving process. Everybody's different. Everybody handles things in a way to them. There is no written rule. There is no book. You have to just try and adapt and move on yourself. If you need somebody to talk to, you've got to try and find somebody. If you want us to do a follow-up on this, leave us some comments and we will... I don't know what else we can say, to be fair, because, you know...
It's only our experience, isn't it? Yeah. And all we can do is, with a living proof that you will survive.
And you've got other family members that need your support. If you've got a kiddie and a wife, you've got to try and pull your finger out and look after them. And that should then be the motivation for you to move on. Yeah, but it's not even like that, is it? You make that sound like that should be your drive. Some people can't see beyond. I'm on the last minute. Just carry on.
People can't. I don't know what I'm trying to say. People, no, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, some people can't deal with that. It's too much for them, and at that point, if you can't go from day to day, you go to the doctor.
Yeah, go
and
and
get help.
Yeah.
If you can't just exist, go to the doctor.
So, in this last 30 seconds, folks, we hope we've helped you. I honestly haven't got a clue. I am no expert. I've not been to some kind of psychology bloody thing or anything. This is like not been forced on us. But it's from the heart. I've not done this to make anything out of it as such, although, you know, this is now an income for me, so there you go. But I hope it's helped you, and we'll talk to you soon. Laters. Say bye, June.
Bye.